La familia es lo primero. This is a very famous Spanish proverb that has been taught from generation to generation, and it translates to family comes first. Hi, I'm Alexia, and I want to introduce you to Spain and its fine culture. After my presentation, my hope is that you can get a better understanding of Spain. Spain is not only a beautiful culture, but it also has many unique and fabulous traditions that will hopefully make you want to learn more about it and maybe visit a Spanish traditional place. I have dug deep into research, not only finding some of the best credible sources, but also seeing interviews with people within the culture. In my speech today, I will be going over with you the meaning of Spaniards and their culture so that you may understand why are Spaniards so proud of the roots. Some of the topics that I will be sharing with you today is some of the aspects of Spain, specifically culture and lifestyle, customs, and ways of life. But first, let's start with Think Spain. They mention in their article, family is at the heart of Spanish culture. For Spaniards, family is a very sacred thing. They place high value on family and relationships, and it's very common to find several generations living under the same roof or at a walking distance. According to Think Spain, the elderly hold very much valued place in their culture. They represent the cultural emphasis of family in Spain. Spaniards are known for their hospitality. They're culturally very welcoming, and their social life extends beyond just the nucleus family. So it's very common to find family and friends gathering for meals or coffee or just chats. There is a very common and famous phrase utilized to greet people, and this is "Mi casa es tu casa," which translates to "My home is your home." And this embodies the hospitality and the feeling of warmth that you find in Spain. According to a survey by Spain's Centro de Investigaciones Sociológicas, CIS, 69.1% of Spaniards say that having culture, self-cultivation is very important, even more so than having economic security. Now that we have learned about Spain and lifestyle and culture, I would like to talk about some of the customs found in Spain. And this you will surely see if you see a Spanish family. This is they greet each other by kissing each other on the cheeks, on each cheek. This action is called dos besos. Dos besos does not literally involve real kisses. It's more of an action of turning to the left and to the right while throwing some air kisses. Here's a fun fact about dos besos. You will never see men doing this action by themselves. A female always has to be present in order for this to work. You can see it with two girls, you can see it with a guy and a girl, but you will never see it with two men. According to Sincerely Spain, two men will typically go for a handshake or a hug. Now that we have talked about the importance of family in Spanish culture, and one of its most famous customs, now we will be focusing on some of their traditions. For example, La Tomatina. La Tomatina, which is one of the most famous tradition, it's a food fight where thousands of Spaniards gather in small Spanish towns in Buñol, where they throw over 100 tons of overripe tomatoes at each other, painting the walls and the streets of Spain, and they end up covered in tomato sauce. La Tomatina first took place in 1945, and it started with kids fighting. Then they started celebrating this every single year, and it became a tradition. La Tomatina is held every last Wednesday of August, and it brings together big crowds of people, and they just get together to have fun and a joyful time and just enjoy. This event has a structured program. At 9 a.m., the town starts filling up with pastries and breakfast, and it fills up with people, and then they bring out a pole covered in soap, and at the very top of the pole there's a ham leg hanging, which is a prize. People will try to climb up the pole to claim the prize, and while they're at it, people will be throwing buckets of water from the balconies. This happens right before the battle begins. At 11, there's a shot fired, which indicates that the battle has begun, and within seconds, everything is covered in tomato sauce. So now that you have learned a little bit about Spanish culture, my hope is that whenever you are with your family, you can share a little bit more about Spanish culture and not just bullfights and flamenco. So I encourage you to share a little bit more about this information that you have learned today. Thank you.